Alright, we should be live. What is up, everyone? And we got a membership renewal. Thank you, Hazard Me. Thank you, Tech Blacksmith. What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. How's everyone doing? Let me make sure the music volume is okay. First this week is Kevin Go. Mod Kevin Go. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? We got Staying 2007, Chemical Aid. What's up? What's up? Shane Eslick, as always. Riot Noob, Kale 130. Got Mod Jason Whitmer. Craig Lilly, pretty late today, but he's been first so many times that he's still king of firsts. What else we got? We have Michael. This is the first YouTube live stream I've watched in a while. We're here every single week, so if you have time, always here. But if you're busy, that's fine too. You can catch the VODs after the fact, or just keep watching the channel content. I appreciate everything, so long as you're watching in one way or another. What's up, yeah, buds? What's up, Damien Hogue? How goes Danny? It goes well. How goes it for everyone else? We got Phaser Egg, Giant Golem 49, Cads. What's up? What's up? Mod Kevin Go says, getting Domino's for dinner tonight. $5.99 for a large pie. Whoa, is that just? I could have sworn it was normally that deal from Domino's. While we're just chilling at the start of the stream here, looks like we're looking at Domino's pizza deals. If I can type it right, Domino's coupons. All right, let's see. See local coupons. We'll do carry out. Man, delivery fees. We'll go 99. Find a store. So we're gonna pick. Yeah, sure, whatever. All right. $6.99. Oh no, he said $5.99 for a large pie. I'm not seeing that coupon here. Is that just a Texas thing? Yeah, all pizzas with one topping for $7.99. Yeah, where's this? Where's the one he was talking about? How big is your large? How big is the Domino's large here in the States? Honestly, I don't even know off the top of my head. We're gonna have to go into here and see. Carry out. Oh my goodness. I already put in my information. Why are you asking for it again? Because I did a new tab in incognito. Alright, so large pizza is 14 inches here in the States. Yeah, because medium, I believe, is 12 inches. And now make you hungry. I mean, people already know the zip code / city I'm in. Knowing the Domino's nearby isn't gonna really dox me. My P.O. box already says where I kind of am. 2 large pizza, large $5.99. Large $5.99. $5.99 promo code. 2 days. Oh, this was on Slick Deals. I'm pretty sure this is where it came from. Offering a large 2-topping pizza for $5.99. How long does this last for? Offer till 4/9. Yo, if you guys want some Domino's on the cheap, this is actually a really good deal. I might have to put in an order and go pick some up tonight after stream. Riot Noob says, smart idea to keep people in the stream for an hour before you start it. I don't think that adds to the watch hours. The pre-stream chat, I'm pretty sure that does not add to watch hours because there's nothing being displayed. It just allows people to have the chat available. And the only reason I do that is so that people get the reminder. I usually do it about an hour before stream so that people can get the notification, hopefully. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't add to watch hours because I'm not actually streaming. Though, oh, I'm very curious. Have you guys noticed that I think I forgot I read an article about it, but PewDiePie did this, but I noticed Brett from UFD Tech does this. But they just run 24-hour streams and yeah, they just run 24-hour or not even 24-hour streams. They just run constant streams. So like even when they're not actively there at the stream, there is still some kind of content playing. I think for Brett, he plays basically his catalog of old videos. I don't know what PewDiePie does. I don't. I haven't gotten checked it out, but I've been hearing streamers talk about that as like the new strategy, just to have like an ongoing stream, even when you're not actively there or live. Do you guys watch any channels like that, or do you know of any other channels? Maybe probably not in the tech space, just because not that many people in the tech space regularly stream, to my knowledge. But just do you know of any other big content creators or like full time streamers that do that? People on Twitch do it. I have seen the 24/7 streams that are fake. Yeah, what I could let me see if I can bring up the 24/7. So if we bring this up here, PewDiePie Infinity Stream, what is it? Why is PewDiePie playing an infinite loop of videos on his Twitch? Uh Actually, what am I do? I can show you the live example of Brett doing it. I think UFD Tech Twitch. Yeah. So how long has he been live for? Right now, it's showing 24 hours on the counter right here. I think when Brett does it, he has like games and stuff going on. Well, no, Chris, I'm not saying what's up, Chris, by the way. I'm not saying it's a meta, but what are the people saying about it? Because, but dude, I'm like a complete stream noob. I only stream like once a week, but what are like the experts or the journalists saying about it? PewDiePie has launched a Twitch stream called PewDiePie Infinity. What the heck? Every one of his videos are played in a loop with over 4,000 videos posted and over kind of like an infinite money. They call it an infinite money glitch. Yeah, I've been seeing that term thrown around, but it's like no matter what, people are gonna log in to check, right? Like if you look at Brett's stream right now, he has 268 viewers. Now, Chris, since you stream on Twitch, pretty much full time, not full time, but that's your like main streaming platform. Like, I'm sure Brett's probably playing ads throughout this like Infinity stream or this 24/7 stream or whatever. When he plays ads to 268 viewers, and every time I've kind of like randomly checked in on Brett's stream, he's always at like 200 to 300 streamers, like even at 3 a.m. or something like that. So if he plays an ad, uh, I mean, that's really good, right? Playing ads for this many, concurrent viewers almost at any given point in time. Kaz asks, "What's your opinion on the new streaming app Kick?" I mean, I don't know much about Kick except for apparently it has way less moderation. It's not to say like Twitch or YouTube has perfect moderation. I'm sure there's bad stuff that go on there too, but from what I've seen about Kick is it seems like things like gambling, nudity, like audience being either racist or like bigotry, all that stuff. It is not well moderated there as much. So it just, I think the term that a lot of people who are against Kick use is like it's a cesspool, right? I mean, I'm not gonna give like that much more of my thoughts on it because I haven't checked it out and I have no interest in checking it out. The way that they're claiming it's gonna work is, well, right now they give a 95% creator, 5% Kick revenue split, right? Which is amazing. To almost give nearly 100% to the creator, that's like the dream. But long term wise, right? Is that gonna work out? We've seen I guess platforms like, remember when Mixer came around, Microsoft's Mixer, they paid a ton of money up front to get people like Shroud and Ninja, and then they went under. It seems like that is what Kick is doing because I don't know who it's funded by, but Trainwreck is behind it, and I mean, he has a decent amount of money. But how long can he keep that up for? Especially as more people go to Kick, and you know they're gonna need larger infrastructure, more moderation team, more people just as a part of their company. How are they gonna pay for everything if they aren't making that much money? So I don't know. It just seems like too good to be true. It's like a lot of the bait and switch things is what I'm guessing is gonna happen, and we see this outside of streaming platforms too, right? Like we started with Build Redux. Like when Build Redux came out, their prices for pre-built PCs were amazing, right? So they got their name out there, they built up rep, and then they started charging more for their PCs. So Kick, I mean, if I had to guess, that's what's gonna happen to Kick. Right now, they promise a 95% of the split goes to the creator, but as they grow bigger, become more successful, and more people go to them, and they can't sustain that, they're gonna start slowly moving the rev split and taking more. But that's just my random guess about it. Jason, regarding the whole thing, says at least they're showing their own content. Most people just sit there and watch other people's content. That is true. Oh my god, is that what I'm doing right now? I'm watching Brett's Infinity stream on my stream and reacting and putting my own commentary over it. It is depressing. But yeah, I was just curious. It doesn't seem like that many people have seen other either tech channels or other mainstream like streamers doing this too much. But I wonder if this is gonna catch on. I would be curious to try it on my own channel, but I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I'm afraid of doing things that might potentially hurt the channel. So Shane Eslick says wootware on the wall. Yeah, the wootware on the, yeah. I mean, he's just, I don't know how he's playing the videos. If he just has like a YouTube window that is randomly playing stuff on his like through a browser, or if he has all the videos archived and he's playing it through like a media player like BLC or something. But uh R called RC Ald 2000. Which nerd on a budget? Which name do you prefer to be called? I mean Danny, Nob, nerd on a budget. All of that works. People call me nerd for short, which sounds kind of funny. Like if you were to just read the without much context and just see someone calling like me nerd, it seems almost like not an insult, but um like not bullying, but you know what I mean, like just to call someone a nerd. But that's my channel's name, so that's fine too. Demon Mitt says I went and looked at it and it's straight up okay. I'm gonna check this out. I'm not gonna do it on stream because I'm not trying to get my stream demonetized, but let me go to Kick right now and let me see if it's safe enough to show on the front screen. Okay. This is safe to show. Let me scroll down. I I don't see any nudity yet. Um. Okay, so I think it is safe to show. Please do not change. So here's the front page of mine. Kick, or not even mine, because I'm incognito. I don't. There's no preferences or anything stored data wise. I don't believe there's nudity. I just went through, scroll down. I mean, here's the thing: creators are struggling enough to get paid. So I'm not against uh other competition for different ways for people to make money, but I think it has to be done correctly. It's too early to say whether or not Kick is doing it correctly or not. But I mean, Twitch, I'm sure, made their fair share of mistakes when they first got off the ground. So I mean, I think the ideal situation would be Twitch treat their creators better, right? Yeah, that's something that I'm constantly seeing complaints about on Twitter, because most of the people that I do follow, or that mutuals of the people that I follow, anytime like it's complaints about a streaming platform uh, doing a bad job, it's usually Twitch. I rarely hear people complain about YouTube except for lack of features, and then Kick is too new, so. Kicked is owned by a gambling company. Yeah, so the whole gambling thing, I mean, gambling, that's like a whole, you can make a whole entire stream dedicated to talking about the morals and ethics of gambling. Yeah, sure, if you're an adult, that's fine. But you know for a fact, it's not mostly adults sitting around watching these streamers like 24/7, right? The majority of a lot of these streamers' followers are people who are not of age for of gambling yet, whether it be gambling like online poker gambling, or if it's like pulling loot boxes or other things like that. So well, Chris, if I do my test 20 or infinity stream on Twitch, yeah, it's not gonna hurt nothing, but I also don't have a following on Twitch, so it's not gonna like. Since YouTube is my main streaming platform, I want to see how it would affect my like streaming analytics, and maybe potentially revenue and stuff like that. Yeah, doing it on Twitch, I think for me, especially since I already don't really like Twitch as a platform, I don't think that would be, I don't think I would learn or gain anything from it. Jason says XQC literally watches entire seasons of anime without saying a word and makes millions. People watching that is emulating friendship. XQC, he's still on Twitch, right? Or did he go over to Kick? Uh, Tectonics, what is my video editor? My video editor is Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, hey, all right. So I think there's we had enough of a kind of like uh chill start, let people use the restroom, get their waters, get their snacks and stuff. So as you can see in the title of today's stream, so I swear this happens every single time. During last week's stream, or this week before that, we had the stream, and then the day after, Linus gets hacked, right? So then I had to wait an entire week to talk about it on the next stream. And then after last week's stream, I think it was the day after or a couple of days after, is when I started noticing people talking about the new leaked price of the RTX 4070. So yeah, if you guys don't remember, originally the RTX 4070, it was Moore's Law is dead, leaked that it was going to cost $750. This was what, 3-ish weeks ago, I believe. And then literally, I think a day or two after last week's stream, there was another leak, and then a lot of the online tech news outlets started reporting, hey, it's actually going to be $600. So we're going to be talking about that today. Also, from the end of last stream, someone brought up the Framework Modular Laptop, and they brought it up near the end of stream, so we didn't have time to talk about that. So I want to take a look at that today and give you my thoughts on it and get your guys' opinions on it, as well as, interestingly enough, so April Fools happened between this week and last week's stream. And when was April 1st? Anyways, that was on April 1st was on a Saturday. But what we saw a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a lot of companies start to do was post April Fool's Day tweet posts and like videos and stuff like that on the last day of March instead. So March 31st. They all started posting their April Fool's pranks and jokes on that Friday before April 1st. And then one of those products was the ROG Ally from Asus, the handheld. That's I don't know if it's gonna be a Steam Deck competitor, but I was gonna take a look at that too, just because that's pretty interesting and talk about that. So yeah. That's true, Shane S. Like your April 1st is our March 31st. I mean, I don't think having multiple streams or having any streams on like YouTube would affect the channel negatively. Having a second channel, I don't know. I never understood the reason for that. Because if I were to most of the stuff that I put out there, almost all the stuff I would put out there, I would want the most eyes to see it, not just the dedicated few that decide uh to go over and follow me on my second channel. I'm trying to think, do I follow other people's second channels? And I think I don't at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't follow people's personal channels or secondary channels. I'm not counting like LMGs, like Tech Quickie and stuff. That doesn't count as a second channel. I'm talking about like when a large content creator who has like, I don't know, let's just say 100,000 subs, and then they make a secondary channel that has like 1 to 2,000 subs. I usually am not a follower of the very small niche channel. Okay. Um. Oh, hopefully that wasn't Brett's voice wasn't playing in the background the entire time. But let's take a look at the first piece of uh like let's call it tech news that I wanted to bring up today. And I mean, I've gotten how many? One, two. So I pulled up like the first 4 articles I saw. So here's Tech Power Up. Very, very trustworthy source. This came out last Thursday. So they may have been one of the first ones to report on it. That I saw anyways. Here's Tom's Hardware, which was 3 days ago. Tweaktown. This one was March. Oh, okay. This was also Thursday. So Tweaktown and Tech Power Up. And then when did video cards? April 2nd. So um I will post all these actually. I'm gonna edit the description just so that we're giving credit where credit is due. And for people who want to read along, or if they catch the bot after the fact, they can see the articles. Okay. So we got that going on. Okay, so NVIDIA has reportedly set the retail MSRP of its upcoming GeForce RTX 4070 Ada graphics card at USD $600. This would put its starting price anywhere between $170 to $200 cheaper than the 4070 Ti. We know from reports, different review NDAs. We know from reports of different review NDAs, and then they have another article, March 14th. NVIDIA plans different review post dates for MSRP and non-MSRP. Okay. So they're setting. Okay, so the supposed dates is so April 12th. That is going to be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is supposed to be when the MSRP card reviews are going like live, I guess. And then the day after is for anything priced at a premium. So I don't think necessarily AIBs, because almost all the manufacturers have like the very baseline models that barely have any overclock out of the box. So I think this is definitely talking for like the MSI Gaming X or like the ROG Strix and stuff like that. And this one is like for the MSI Ventus or something for the April 12th date is what it's looking like. So if we go back to this article though, okay, so 2 different release dates. That there's an emphasis for NVIDIA side to ensure that every board partner has cards to sell at MSRP, which is $600. And this is something that a lot of people, myself included, and I mean a lot of you guys too, complain about anytime a new graphics card is released, right? It gets released, and then you go and check on Newegg, and the MSRPs are all, or not the MSRPs, but the actual like street market value price from the websites are always like $50, $100 more. Sometimes we get lucky and they're only like 20 and 30 bucks more, but that's not often the case. And that is a pretty big price gap. Let's say we actually get this thing at $600. The 4070 Ti is MSRP'd at $799, so $800. Yeah, I mean $200 difference. That is definitely not the price difference we have seen in the past. I think it was usually 100, if not like at max $150 price difference. So, yeah. Coalition Gaming says 49-minute drive home. Dan, I need the same commute as you have. You gotta ask for telecommuting, but I mean you work in the school district. That's a lot harder. So. Jason Whitmer says, if pricing is right, used 3080s are about to plummet in price. That's a... Oh, wait, what? How come this isn't showing up? There it is. If the price is right, used 3080s is about to plummet in price. So, okay, we're going to run our first poll of the night. Are you happy about a $600 RTX 4070, assuming it is available at that price? Yes or no? Is it, I mean, there's no maybe, there's no in between, there's no I wish it was only 550. It's either you're happy about it or you're not. Which one do you lean more towards if you are near the middle? $600 RTX 4070. And it's kind of hard to say, right? But we don't know what the performance of this is going to look like yet. But just assume it is the same, like, it is as good for its time as the 3070 was when it released. So when the 3070 released, that was at remember, that was a $499 MSRP, $500. I feel like that was pretty well received. And it is a very popular card. A lot of people have RTX 3070s. A lot of people are still looking for those in the used market, and they're still buying it new for... Let's take a look at what you can get a new RTX 3070 for. And we'll take a look on eBay too for the used market. So we're going to go to lowest price. Sort by lowest price, just like the t-shirts. Shout out to the merch. Make sure to pick one up if you haven't yet. And then we're going to look at buy it now over here. Okay, so if you wanted to buy a 3070 right now on Newegg, brand new, no refurbished or anything, the cheapest one, are you kidding me? Seriously? The cheapest one's only $50 under MSRP 2 years after it's been released? This is the cheapest one I can find right now. I'm pretty sure Amazon's not going to be any better. Amazon is usually not better than Newegg on pricing. But maybe we'll be surprised today. Nope. Look at this. Amazon has 3070s for above MSRP. 560, 570, 630. Oh, here's one. The Accelerate one for 450. So this one matches Newegg. Who is it sold by? Computer Headquarters. So it's not by Amazon. There's no Prime. It looks... There might be Prime. I'm just not logged in. But for the most part, if you look at all these prices, they're bad. And we've seen this already, right? We're just reiterating the fact that NVIDIA, the inventory, they stopped producing these. So that it's kind of forcing people to get the newer cards. But then on Newegg side, yeah. I mean, the cheapest one was $450. And then it quickly goes up from there towards the $500 price point. Oh, is that one renewed? Oh yeah, this is renewed. Wow. Good eye there, Benny Joy and Demon Mitt. So that is even a worse story for the 3070 and NVIDIA. The fact that you guys spend $450, get it renewed. But there's always eBay, and we know eBay, you're gonna get those X mining cards as well as other, let's see, pre-owned. Okay, so these aren't that bad. So parts only, parts only. So the cheapest one you can get here is $330, and that's okay. We got a kind of like a blower style one. How about this one? This is an Asus Dual, very more entry level one, but at least it's like a dual fan. $330 here from Florida, used, free shipping. On 330. I mean, that's $170 price reduction from MSRP, but I don't know. I would have expected it to be a little bit cheaper than this after 2 years and being used. Let's look at the 67XT real quick. So we go and sort by the 6700XT lowest first. These ones are going as 6600XT, so these are a little bit cheaper by almost 40 to 50 bucks. 285 here for Sapphire Pulse. This is a newish seller. What's their rating? Why does it not show a percentage? One seller feedback. Okay, I mean, you'll have buyer protection if you buy this, but any problems with this card? Sapphire Pulse, okay, no other description, but eBay says it's used, item should be in, but fully operational, so you'll get your money back if anything happens. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now in the used market for a 3070 or equivalent card. It's looking like 330 if you want Nvidia, and then as low as like 290-ish for AMD. So let's take a look at the poll so far. It is now maybe let me read it out. So right now the poll from all the people who voted so far, are you happy about a $600 RTX 4070, assuming it is available at $600? 60% of the people said no, but 40% said yes. So, to be honest, I thought it would be closer to a 50-50 split. I didn't think it would be that much more skewed towards the no. Just because I thought the $600 would have softened the blow of the first incorrect leak. Or I don't know. These are still supposed leaks, right? It could still come out to $750, but we're assuming here if it does hit that $600 price, I would have thought that was a way better case for it, because that is a 20% reduction off of a $750 price. But wait, Demon Mit's saying it needs to be on a 3090 tier or 6950 XT tier performance to justify it. You're talking about the 4070, right? Not the 4070 Ti. Yeah. So basically, yeah, you make a good point, because the only reason somebody would buy this, unless they really care about that, like DLSS 3, or just having, slightly longer driver support in the long term, right? But I feel like most people care about rasterization performance. So the only reason that anyone would buy this is if they could take that $600 and put it towards the 4070. It would only be because they couldn't take that $600 and put it towards anything else that exists. Now, when it comes to the current gen, both AMD and Nvidia, there is no card going for $600 right now. Nvidia's current cheapest one is the 4070 Ti for $800, and AMD's is the 7900 XT non-X. That one MSRP'd for $900, but you can often find it for like $850 now. So that means you're looking at the previous gen of NVIDIA to AMD versus this current gen 4070. Now, if we wanted to take a look at the thing is, NVIDIA's, we just saw it. 3070s are going for over $500. You want to know how much let's not even talk about the 3090. Let's talk about the 3080, right? If you I think for sure the 4070 is gonna beat the 3080. If we're going off of anything that the 4070 Ti versus like the 3090 and 3090 Ti, those relative performance, I think the 4070 will for sure. I think it'll land between 3080 and 3090. But let's take a look at the lowest price 3080 that we can find right now. So if someone were to say, you know what, screw that, $600 is way too much for a 4070, I'm gonna get last gen's 3080. And remember, we're comparing brand new to brand new here because we know that eBay is gonna definitely have cheaper than $600 3080s. But if we were to look, boom, let's go to Amazon too. Like, this is what I've been saying, and you know, everyone has been seeing in the like previous weeks and months. Nvidia is not giving any alternative option in the previous generation. Like, so we have the cheapest, non-used 3080 that you can find on Newegg right now, $679. So yeah, if you want to stick Team Green, we'll take a look at AMD in a second. But if you only want Team Green, you are forced to get the 4070 because you're gonna be getting less performance at a higher price with the 3080. Now let's go over to Amazon just to confirm that for some reason 3080s are going for $1,300 over here, $1,000, $879. Here's one for $750. I mean, that's not making the case any better, right? Here's a renewed version for $900. Yummy. But then let's take a look at eBay too. Let's say you say, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna consider used cards. What is this going for? And obviously these used prices are gonna change. Just based on people getting rid of the cards as they want to upgrade, or let's see, parts only. Nope. Where's the use? We'll go to. Let me see. I gotta check all these. We use, sell, refurbished, open box. Yep, those are all good. Okay, so if you wanted to buy a 3080 right now, the cheapest one, fans not working. Okay, well that doesn't help. Grade C condition. Okay, the cheapest one, is it gonna be this Alienware one? What is grade C condition? Huh? What does grade C condition mean? Do they specify? I don't think that is that like that's not like normal eBay jargon, is it? Fans tested, worn out fans are replaced with new ones. Okay. So why is it called grade C? GPUs tested, refurbished, and cosmetic conditions to the best of abilities, but still has significant. Oh, here it is. They're explaining it right here. Yeah, but still has significant cosmetic wear. I don't think anyone really cares about that. I never correct. Wear on the cooler heatsink bracket also include moderate to severe corrosion or rust. Okay, as long as it still cools well. I don't think many people care about that. May slightly reduce cooling performance. Okay, I mean, do they show an actual picture of the card itself? Like if this is the real picture of the card and you can see it prior to buying, like this. Okay, so there's like some dust. Is that corrosion? Actually, that might be corrosion on the heatsink. It is. Okay, so that's what they're talking about. That's why it's grade C. All right. So I'm going to end the poll now. It looks like we are ending at about still a 40-60 split on whether or not people are happy with the $600 price tag. So the rust, I have seen this actually. The card that I bought from in Hawaii, just because of the humidity there, I don't think the person mistreated the card or anything. I think in more humid environments, it is more common to get rust on the heatsink and things like that. But all right, so if that's what we have to work with. What about this one? This one, it doesn't say grade C. I'm just trying to find a reference for like a decent card. Fast shipping. Really? That's all the information they're gonna give us? Okay, assuming this doesn't have any problems. Okay, the seller had 100% feedback with 41 reps. So I mean, this looks legit. So we're looking at 400 with free shipping, so $470. It's such a huge price difference between the eBay and that. So how much? Let's look for a 3080 Ti used. Used, yeah, in Queensland get corrosion. Yeah, I have seen a fair amount of corrosion on cards over the years. Uh, and I mean, I'm trying to think if any of them had issues. None of the ones that I've come across have had issues. But obviously, like if you can spend the same amount of money and not get the one with corrosion, you should go for that. But sometimes the deal just is too good, man. If you could shave $100 off, would you get a corroded card? All right, so you want a 3080 Ti in working condition. No, not new. Open box, certified, refurbished, used. Okay. So 3080 Ti's on the other hand. Okay, so here, this seems like the more direct comparison. But this is used. So this is the next poll. Assuming, let's just assume for a second here, the RTX 4070 performs identical to the 3080 Ti, except it has DLSS 3 and stuff like that. So it has everything that the new gen has, except let's just say rasterization performance and for the most part ray tracing performance is about the same. Which would you choose? Would you rather buy so used RTX 3080 Ti for 600 or new RTX 4070 for 600? Assume equivalent performance. All right. Asking the community here because I think this is what people are gonna be faced with once the cards release, assuming they're in stock and readily available, yada yada, etc. Wow, the 3080 Ti's actually go up pretty quickly. There's only a couple that are kind of cheap. I mean, this one after tag, yeah, this one's pretty much like what 582 because you have to count shipping in there. Usually, Newegg or Amazon shipping is free. And then this one is 599, but then it goes up to 650 very very fast. So if anything, the 4070 might even be cheaper than this. So now for this poll, we're gonna get different results, and we're already seeing it, right? We have right now the new 4070 for 600 is leading the pack. VRAM, if it's a 4070 8 GB, where's the leak specs on here? Did they say? Reportedly get 12 gig the memory subsystem change. Okay, yeah. So wait, was there anything talking about 4070s getting 8 GB of VRAM? 4070 specs. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, everything that I'm seeing, even when I put 8 GB of VRAM in, is saying 12 GB, 12 GB. Now, again, obviously, these are all leaks. Nothing has been truly 100% cemented, confirmed. I know. Okay, so Hardware Unbox did a. Is this a live? Was this a live? No, this was just their Q&A. April 3rd, so this was only a couple days ago. But I think they talked about if it only had 8 GB of VRAM. They're saying the 4060 is gonna have 8 GB of VRAM in some of these other leak reports. But yeah. Brandon Wampler, this is no brainer. Why wouldn't you buy new over used? Yeah, I would think it's a no brainer too, but I mean, yeah. I guess why would you ever we're assuming the same performance. Justin Alexander, thank you for the water drink reminder. Lloyd Williams 22 says, I'm actually in the boat for between them two cards at the moment. Currently rocking a 2070 Super. Yeah, that's actually yeah, so that's a perfect upgrade like cycle, right? Like I've said before, I don't think people should be upgrading graphics cards every single year, especially not if they're staying on the same like tier. Like do not go from a 2070 to a 3070, but going to something like a 3090, that makes more sense because you're wanting to get just like another class of performance there. But yeah, just going from like a 2070 to 3070, that's just one generational increment of an increase, which it's still some gains, but I mean, I guess you do you, but I thought the point of buying computer parts, especially like higher end computer parts in a 2070 Super, I would consider pretty borderline higher end. It's probably like upper mid tier if you want to be very super specific about it. But like when you buy something like 2070 Super, you would hopefully use it for more than like a year and a half. So you upgrading from a 2070 Super to a 4070, I think is a really good upgrade path. And if you're in the boat between the two, yeah, it looks like 4070 might be your best bet depending on how the results come out in the benchmarks. Yeah, I mean, 2070 cards used to be, or 70 cards used to be cheaper. We're talking like before we got into RTX series and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, inflation's a part of it, but we've just seen the price increase year over year by more than inflation. Yeah, it looks the way. Looking that way, it's done you well for 4 years, and you have an ultra wide 1440p now. That's I have an ultra wide 1440p running on RX 6600, but I don't play the most demanding games. I test demanding games on other systems, but me myself, I don't play the most demanding games. Brandon says, "What would be the AMD's equivalent to the card in question? What would the price difference be?" So the equivalent, I mean, it would be the. You mean coming out or currently existing? Because currently existing, we can go back and take a look at it. It would be the RX. I think the 6950 has been going for like $650. Let's see. So six. So it would be competing against the likes of a 6950 XT, which has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, for $650. And there's quite a few of them. There's actually almost three of them that's uh within reach of that $600 price point. Because remember, when it comes out, the AIB cards are definitely not going to be exactly $600, unless that tech power up article is correct and Nvidia is forcing some AIBs to have exactly $600 models. But this is what it's going to be competing against, right? So I don't know. I think that given the choice between these two, and asking you guys isn't gonna help because I know there are more people who are willing to try out AMD in my audience than the general gamer. But okay, let's take a look at this poll now. We had 67 votes. People, of course, would rather buy the new RTX 4070. So now let's ask the next question. What? Riot Noob says the problem with AMD cards is that they cannot play a lot of older games. Which games? I guess to be fair, I don't benchmark really old games that I already, for the most part, know that the performance should be really good. So compatibility wise, I would have to look at other benchmarks for it. Quake 4. Okay. So let's just take a look at Quake 4. You think people have done RX 5900 XT performance on it? Quake 4. Quake 1 ray traced. Okay, yeah, that. I mean, how old is Quake 4? Jeez. So that's a 2005 title. Let's see if there's any like Reddit posts or forum posts about there being issues with it. Quake 2. Quake 1 ray traced. Quake 1 ray traced. I don't think I'm gonna find anything. Literally, no one is talking about Quake 4 on the internet. It looks like, unless my Google foo skills are very bad. Can you name? All right, Riot Noob. Can you name a popular old game that people are still playing that we can actually find results for to try to look up to see if this is like a problem? Because I don't think this is on like 99% of people's radars. So I mean, there's always going to be issues with certain titles and newer graphics cards, whether it's Nvidia or AMD. So I don't know. I don't know if blaming AMD on that one is completely uh justified, but let's take a look. I'm curious what RX 6900 XT 6950. I guess 6900 would work though. Let's just look at what the used prices of these are. Oh, and we're gonna ask this poll now. So, which would you rather buy, assuming the same rasterization performance only? Okay, so we're gonna say 650 RX 6950 XT and then 650 AIB RTX 4070. New. And they're both AIB. Okay, so between these two, I'm curious what people are gonna choose now. So which would you buy, assuming that Nvidia still wins in ray tracing, assuming that Nvidia still wins in like Blender performance, assuming that you get Nvidia broadcast and all, you know, everything Nvidia that is usually the talking points of Nvidia shows, assuming you get all of those, but it performs the same and costs the same as a 6950 XT, which would you guys go for? Dennis Duckywiks. Let's just say Dennis. I'm so ready to upgrade from A. So you're just like the other person who has a 2070 Super. Is it better to wait for the 4070 or just wait for the 3080 or other equivalent? How much do you have to spend? I think how much you have to spend really, really is gonna determine that. It is really hard to find a 3080 for the price it should be going for. So you're gonna have to look to the used market. Are you okay with used parts? And then when you, just like we were looking earlier, a 3080 is nowhere in the same ballpark as a 4070. There's like a pretty big price difference because one of them you have to almost get used by this point, and the other one's only available new. Oh, if you have 650 to spend, yeah, you're not even in the ballpark of a 3080. You are well beyond it. And the 3080 Ti didn't look that good as well. Let's take a look at like what is a 4070 Ti going for used? Huh. 4070 Ti's. Okay. Interesting that there's like none in the, okay, I mean it kind of makes sense. It's such a new card. Who is gonna buy a 4070 Ti to only sell it and lose money this soon after? So yeah, if you have $650 and you only want a new card, like we've been saying, man, you're pigeonholed. The only thing you're gonna be able to get is a 4070. I mean, you could get the 6950 XT, but I don't know if you're team green versus team red or have preferences. But I mean, even the most of the votes coming in right now between the 6950 XT and 4070, it looks like more people are voting towards the newer 4070. Demon says, just to comment on the AMD can't play older games thing. AMD does fall all the way back to DX9. If you're playing anything older than DX9, you should be on an emulator, lol. Yeah, or you should just buy a like $30, old card, let's just say GTX 760 or something, and just pop that in if you when you want to play those games. I know it's inconvenient, but it's just like, come on. Like, are you really going to determine the your entirety of like buying a brand new graphics card in 2023 based on how well it can perform in 2005 games or older? I mean, you could, but no, Nvidia or AMD, they don't really. I don't think they really care about that, and they're not gonna cater to you when 99.9% of everybody else is already playing recent titles that have no problems with their cards. Bruce Ghostlaw says, "Hey, Nerd on a Budget. I was wondering how you're doing and have a question. What are your thoughts on any gaming handhelds? I might consider purchasing one and wondering what your thoughts are." We are going to talk about gaming handhelds later on in the stream because I did want to talk about the ROG Ally. Jason Whitmer is also another person. I mean, his YouTube channel has a lot of handheld. Bruh, is it time to plug Jason Whitmer? YouTube mod Jason Whitmer. Did y'all know? Look at this. Look at this man. Okay, he has PC content too, but he's got Steam Deck, Steam Deck, Steam Deck, Steam Deck, Steam Deck, Steam Deck, Steam Deck. So much Steam Deck. Not that one. But yeah. So if you like handheld gaming content, make sure to sub to Jason. Uh his last video was on that deal that was posted in the Discord. He got a RX 560 for $25. Crazy deal. I missed that deal. I wish I would have gotten it. But I also have two RX 560s or one 560, one 460 already like sitting on my shelf. So I didn't need any more, but it doesn't hurt to pick up extras just to have on hand to plop into systems. But yeah, yeah, so Dennis, if you have 600-ish, 650-ish dollars to spend, I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. Oh, wait, did Dennis answer whether or not um Jason did an AMD video, he's an AMD show now? No. Okay, so Dennis, did Dennis answer whether or not he was looking for a like specifically team green or team red? Are you open to both? You have a 2070, which I mean, that doesn't say what bias you have. But before even seeing any of the results, I'm thinking that the 4070, even though it has 4 gigabytes less of VRAM than the 6950 XT, I'm thinking more people are gonna lean towards that than the AMD card. Like, so Dennis, you either have a choice between what's in the polls right now. If you're okay with AMD, assuming the performance is the same, we're gonna have to wait. Apparently, we're gonna be able to see benchmarks next week once that's supposedly the release date of it. So you have about a week to wait to see if a 4070 is gonna be able to beat a 6950 XT. Because that is like the closest like price for price card in comparison. Mag78 says, I haven't been interested in a handheld in a while, but the RG looks pretty sweet. I mean, I I have not been interested in it, but it might just take me like being able to play with one for long enough to get into it. We like in our home, my wife and I, we have a Nintendo Switch. Uh and I can't get myself to really play that because I think it's mostly the titles. Aside from Breath of the Wild, like I want to play other Steam games on it. I don't know. Aside from like Smash, I've never been huge. I mean, I played Mario Kart, of course, and stuff as a kid, and I enjoy the original ones. But like the newer Mario parties, Mario Karts, and stuff, they've never got my attention. I definitely lost interest in those over time. New Pokemon games, we bought the Pokemon Arceus or Arceus, however you say that. Oh God, my wife couldn't even play like an hour of it. It was so bad, and just me watching her play, I had zero interest in playing it. So yeah, like I loved Pokemon and stuff as a kid. So all those like nostalgic Nintendo reasons for why I should love a Switch right now, I just don't anymore. Unfortunately, I think I grew out Nintendo, so the whole handheld thing to me on the Nintendo side of things does not intrigue me as much, aside from like really specific games like Zelda. Um, but I think on this, if I Steam side of things, it might interest me more. Rob says, "Man, spending a month of my rent on a GPU hurts my soul." Wait, Rob, which if you don't want to share, you don't have to. But you either have, and this is all relative, right? Depending on where everyone lives and stuff like that. But I don't think you said how much you spent. But let's just say spending $600 in Washington State, or especially in the Seattle area. If your rent's only 600 or $650, assuming that's what you're talking about, then that's some really cheap rent you have there. But I get the sentiment, right? But no, if you're talking about a more expensive GPU, like let's say the RTX 4080 or something, that's like $1,200 rent. Yeah, spending that on a GPU, that feels really bad. But you either have really cheap rent or you're talking about a really expensive GPU, I think. $600 rent in Long Island. Oh, it does if you live in one of those places where they give you a closet. You literally get like a 4x3 closet. They'll probably charge rent that out for $600. But yeah. So living with roommates, that was something that I did after college for quite a bit. When did I? It was it was in around 2017. So yeah, 6 years after college, I lived with roommates, and I had basically $500 to $600 rent, uh, in like basically Seattle. So that's kind of crazy. That's the only way you can make rent cheap. You get like a 5 to 6 bedroom house that costs like 3 to 4 thousand bucks. Split it between all the roommates, and boom, you've got like sub $1,000 rent. Because apartments and stuff are getting expensive. You want a 2 bedroom apartment that's like not falling apart? Yeah, that's gonna run pretty close to $2,000. Sideway says, "Can you cover the 7800 X3D?" Ooh, benchmarks. Okay, was did that just release today too, or am I a day or two late? I think I started seeing videos, but I start losing track of like the days. Like seriously, I don't remember if I saw that yesterday or today. All the channels starting to post 7800 X3D stuff. We could take a look at that later on in stream. We're already an hour in the stream, and we've been talking about RTX 4070s the entire time. So, and just like, adjacent cards. So we can move on from 4070s now. I'm going to end the poll. That was the last poll. Most people are going to, looks like they're more interested in getting the 4070 over the 6950 XT, assuming similar performance and price. Okay, Rob, rent is 800, so 600 is close. Yeah. The thing about rent is that it never stops. It sucks, doesn't it? Like rent this month is 800, then next month is 800, then next month. But graphics cards, hopefully it lasts you at least 2 years. So you spend one time $650, and then for the next 2 years you're not paying that same recurring payment like you are with rent. But yeah, I get the sentiment. It is, I mean, it's just expensive, right? But if you got an expensive pace, you got to be willing to pay for it. GPU is better investment. Yo, have you seen those like grind hustle culture guru channels on YouTube or even on Twitter and stuff like that? They're like, all you need is like $1,000 computer, and then you have endless potential ahead of you. You could take that and make it into a, multi-$100,000 YouTube hustle if you learn how to edit videos or consult or do something like that. I'm like, dude, you know, like what small percentage of people actually make it doing any of those things? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to discourage people from trying to do something more unique and to like, beat the 9 to 5 grind, but you have to be realistic and look at the actual statistics of how many people succeed versus how many people fail trying to do like, you know, full-time online entrepreneurship. Demon Mint does make a good point. $27 a month on owning a decent GP. Is that how it works out? The math? Let me see. Let's just take you said a week? A month. Oh, okay, yeah. So what is it? 24 times 27. Yeah, 650. Okay. Yeah. $27 a month. Yeah, I mean, dude, you know one thing I always look at is every time we go to eat out, because I know that's gonna come out the other end into the toilet, like by the end of the night or tomorrow. So like when you go out and you spend 50 to $100, which we don't do that often, but anytime you do, it's like, hmm, that could have been thrown towards the PC pile for something that will last years. Yeah. Well, not tonight, Demon Mitt. Ordering pizza for one pizza is $5.99. Large one top. Was it large one topping? Two topping. Yeah, we gotta go get this. We gotta go get that. I'm gonna link this again, Demon Mitt. Yo, go pick up a pizza. Go pick up a pizza and save the other two pizzas. No, Demon Mitt, what are you doing? You're supposed to go pick it up. You're not supposed to. Yeah, delivery is the biggest ripoff ever. If you if you have one nearby that's like less than 5 minute drive away, definitely go pick it up. Do not, because they charge uh the fee is like, I feel like it's getting out of hand. That on top of tip, it's gonna cost more than the pizza itself. Rob says, I budget 200 max on GPUs. I play 720, 40-inch TV, so everything looks ugly. Yo, if you only have $200 for a GPU, you're pretty much at that's like a RX 6600 used level, or I guess on Nvidia side, what would be $200 right now? Uh, I don't think 2070s are that cheap right now. Are dude, I don't even think are 2060s actually that low now? Let me see. I don't believe it. Actually, maybe I can't believe it because it was around 225 like a few months ago. Um, yeah, but $200 right now, if that's you're not gonna be able to get too much for that. Refurbish. Okay, so those are going for 170. So you might be pushing a 270. Yeah, the fact that delivery fee is that high and the drivers don't get any of it, it doesn't make sense to me. If it went all to the driver, I'd be more okay with it. But the fact that I have to tip on top of it, which I'm not against tipping, but it's either one or the other. Like, why am I paying you for? I guess there's some overhead for the amount that they have to pay their employees still, the hourly wage that they are driving, as opposed to everyone coming to pick up. But still, the $6, it ain't it. 2070s going for how much are 2070s going for? Yeah, so 2070s are about that $200 price range is what it's looking like. Demon Mint, is it snowing where you at right now? Now you want pizza. All this pizza talk. Domino's. A lot of young people order food delivery every day, several times a day actually. Well, actually, yeah, that's like the whole. Isn't that like the whole like streaming culture? Like every young person with a decent amount of money through content creation or like being full time streamers on Twitch, don't they just order like food all the time and don't know how to cook? Is that a stereotype? Should I not be stereotyping, or is that actually what's going on? But all right, let's take a look here. We're gonna run another poll before we get into the framework laptop discussion. Um, do you order food delivered to your home once a week or more? And this is an anonymous poll, so please answer. Um, Here, actually, no, I'm gonna give more options. So uh, okay, let's see. People's food ordering. I like for me, if I had to vote on this, I would say, and the way I worded it is weird. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said once. I should have said around once a month. But we're about maybe once every couple of weeks here in our home. So a lot of people say rarely, so not that often. At least once a week. We do have quite a few votes for at least once a week. So for us, it's like about once every couple of weeks. So Don always says, "Why are GPUs so cheap?" No, but what do you mean? What? Why is what so cheap? What we're looking at, or are you talking about something else? I was just looking at the reference price for this, but most hot food sitting around for more than 15 minutes comes out kind of gross. Yeah, sometimes, especially if you're like at the tail end of their multi-order and you get it like 30 minutes after the fact. It's not the best. Thanks for answering that, Shane. That is correct. I do not sell PCs. How much do you sell a custom PC for? Is what Ghost Gaming asks. And for people who don't know, I do not sell my PCs like to viewers or online or anything like that. Just because I'm not trying to pay tech support. Now I think I, the way that Zach does it, I don't think Zach plays tech support for all the PCs that he sells to people. And I think he puts a big disclaimer in there. But still, I don't know. I would feel bad if someone bought a PC from me and for whatever reason, whether it be due to shipping reasons or due to their own reasoning, or maybe I overlooked something and they reached out to me and needed like hours upon hours of technical support, right? Even if I put a disclaimer saying once you buy this PC, it's yours and it's out of my hands, like I would feel pretty bad just to completely ignore someone or tell them, hey, I can't help you out. So yeah, I don't sell PCs to viewers and stuff. All right, Sideread says thoughts on the 7800 X3D. We can't get to that yet because we got to talk about the framework laptop. So we're gonna watch this video real quick. Not that one. This one. Okay. Okay. If y'all haven't seen this, I'm gonna link this. But thanks for bringing back. I do want to talk about that a little bit, Sideread. Though I'm not sure I have many thoughts about it, just because higher end CPUs for the most part, if you are trying to be more money conscious, trying to get the most like performance, I think GPU performance is more important than CPU performance. So long as you don't have a complete crappy CPU, right? In most scenarios, I would rather have the stronger graphics card because you can already do stuff like stream using it, you could render using it, things like that, and you can get better gaming performance than having a weaker graphics card and a really powerful CPU. Obviously, if money was an issue, you get the most powerful everything. But between the two, having a mid-range CPU with a like higher end graphics card, I think is what I typically prefer. All right, so this is a Framework laptop. Someone brought this up last week. Let me see how the volume is. Do I have to talk in the middle of this so that I don't get copyright striked, audio copyright striked, or copying here? Let me move this. All right, so that was the only thing. Let's watch that again. All that like modularity, right? All right, so the framework. What is there? Do they have a better video? They don't have. They have like these longer like press events. Um, let's see what their website has. Okay, now where's the laptop 16? Okay, we just saw this video. They don't have that many. Okay, so we can only check out their previous model, the laptop 13. Okay, pre-built versus DIY edition. So the idea of this laptop is that because with most laptops, right? There's not really any room to upgrade. There are ways to upgrade it, but sometimes it has to do. You have to have like it's more intensive. Like you have to desolder things. You have to buy very specific parts to fit in. It is definitely not as plug and play as like a desktop computer. For most laptops, like if you wanted to replace the graphics card, you would have to get one that works with pretty much that same line of laptop that is better because they offer like the same laptops in different SKUs, right? Like let's just say a Lenovo Legion 5 or 7 that has a RTX 3060 in it. They also make those with 3070s and 3080s. So if you wanted to upgrade the graphics or the GPU rather, you would have to get basically the same exact model version, and that's not even talking about having to upgrade power bricks and potentially like battery too. But it's just not easy at all. Like when we say you can't upgrade laptops, you can't do it easily just because the people will say actually you can upgrade it. Yeah, you can, but it's a pain and it's expensive. So the idea behind this framework laptop is that all these pieces, just as you saw in that video, we will mute it. Though some of these things I'm just like, is that there's the Linus version. I'm gonna mute this. But I mean, look at when they put like, okay, putting this in, this is supposed to be the like the graphics card, uh like equivalent, the graphics module that goes into it. And like putting this keyboard in, I'm pretty sure when you replace keyboards in the current day like a modern day laptop, it looks similar to this. Now it's not the exact same because on this one, as you can see, there's different little like pinouts down here, so you could shift it. Well, this is the oh, that one has the numpad already. Yeah, you see how they're putting in this piece, and then they can put in a numpad as well and move that around and put these little like I guess they were like RGB light bars or something around it. I'm gonna admit the idea is very cool, but I'm very skeptical about this. I don't think this is gonna be a viable solution within the next 5 years. And let me think of 10 years. That'll be 2033. This is all dependent on if other manufacturers are interested in like doing this as well, right? Because if they don't, then and if Framework is the only one producing these parts that you can buy from and put into, then it's the equivalent of if you wanted to replace a GPU or like a motherboard on a laptop and you had to buy one from directly from like MSI or what's it called, Aorus or whoever. It's not as modular, but it's gonna be as expensive. Jason Weber said, in an ideal world, it only works if everyone's on board with it. Dell Alienware, do you remember what generation that was? Demon Mitt? Replaceable GPUs. Cause I mean, if you wanted to, let's say, go to eBay right now and let's look at Lenovo Legion GPU. Let's just look at the 3060M, for example. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can buy it if we can find it. Here's the motherboard. Oh, this one is it integrated into it? Yeah. So sometimes they do have. It is like sometimes it's not the entire motherboard. You can actually buy the like just the GPU, but it depends on the laptop model, really. Yeah, MXM GPUs are swappable, but super expensive. Yeah, so that's the problem. I don't know that I don't foresee this really working because unless other companies like buy the rights to be able to make compatible parts, which they're gonna have to pay framework. Like, why would they do that at all? Now, I replacing the CPU is another thing too, which there have been a lot more laptops that have had replaceable CPUs. I think Clevo is one of the really popular ones, and that's because a lot of their they've made a lot of laptops that have desktop CPUs. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, I made a video on it before, but can we find it? But oh, is it gonna be open source? If it is open source, okay, would the manufacturer, other like companies be on board with it being open source? There's other reasons why I don't think this will work out, and this isn't me just being like a negative Nancy, because I've thought this through. Let's say they make it open source, right? That would mean the good thing is it reduces e-waste and stuff like that, because most of the time if you want to upgrade a laptop aside from RAM and SSD, you pretty much got to scrap the old one. Maybe not scrap it, you'll donate or recycle it or something, but then you have to buy a whole new laptop. My issue with it is that if you think about how it works in a desktop, right? Let's say you buy a desktop. If you bought a desktop or you built a computer 10 years ago in 2013, today you could still use that case and that power supply. Maybe the RAM if you were on DDR4 RAM at the time, but that's another thing. But I think the hardest thing to be able to like continue to move forward and upgrade the internal components is going to be the chassis and the power source or power supply or battery. Like, do you think once this framework 16 laptop comes out, is that chassis going to be usable for the next 10 years or even 5 years of products that they release, or are they going to change certain things and connectors and like, oh, sorry, this is only good for 1 or 2 generations worth of products? So with desktops, yeah, power supplies, you could use power supplies from 10 years ago. I mean, sure, the safety standards and stuff were different back then, but if it was a good quality power supply, it could still be usable today. Same with the case. Same with like graphics cards too. You could fit a modern day graphics card in what would have been a a 10-year-old case. I don't see this happening in the laptop form factor just because everything is so much tighter. Igor says also when you upgrade the mobile/CPU, you can put Yeah, so I think that's one of their talking points about it, right? I think in the Linus video they showed it. I mean, why wouldn't you just that assumes that the housing can still be saved and used with future stuff. That would be why you take the motherboard off, right? But if it's not, then you would just stick your entire laptop in front of your like your home TV or whatever as a media PC. There's no reason to have to buy another external thing. It just depends on how long the parts last for. And they offered diagrams and models, and other people have designed enclosures. Well, no. So if they ever stop supporting older form factors that are out now, yeah. So the fact that they're already talking about that as a solution, if they're stopping supporting old form factors, that also renders the chassis useless, doesn't it? So why would you need a different enclosure to use this obsolete sized motherboard when that won't work with the future? Uh, when like that the enclosure won't work in the future. I guess I don't see a situation happening where the form factor in let's just use the framework 16 as an example. They're saying, oh, that motherboard is not going to be able to go into the new version that's being released. Why would the chassis that was kind of almost the exact same size built around that be able to be carried forward? You know what I'm saying? Am I missing something in the whole like compatibility moving forward thing? Yeah, we don't know. That's exactly it. But um I think logistically things like this it's like a nightmare. Like designing stuff to work together and be that compatible and to be that quote unquote modular, unless again, when you look at a laptop, how much free space is in a laptop? Not much, right? Compare that to a desktop PC. There's so much like space for you to work around that it doesn't matter what cooler you put in there, it doesn't matter what graphics card. If you have like a mid-sized tower, it pretty much fits everything. It's when you get to like ITX is when you start having to like worry about size. So that's me having kind of a negative outlook on it, but obviously, as always, I would love to be proved wrong because this is a very cool concept, but being someone who like is very money conscious and stuff like that, I there's only a certain amount of premium I'm willing to pay for this versus getting a laptop that just has the best specs for the time for cheaper. Well, Demon Man, there were so many of these startup or small companies or like Kickstarter projects. I don't think they were on Kickstarter, right? For their first one, but there are so many of these companies that have these really cool like intro videos and like product presentations and very cool concepts and designs, and then they just eventually flop down the line after they take the backers' monies or like the first gen supporters' money. So I've seen that happen enough times to be very skeptical about the success of this. N2 Tech says, no, you're not missing anything. It's a bad idea. I think, where's that modular phone? Was it MKBHD modular phone? You know what? Let's see. Was it this one? Oh, man, this was 2016? Wait up. I think this was just a concept, too. All right, so this is I can't believe was this actually 2016? If this is the video I'm remembering. Okay, I remember this now. The Verge video, huh? So there was have you guys seen this video? If you haven't, be sure to check it out sometime or we can watch it right now. Yeah, this was 2016, 2017. This is really old. I'm not sure have they made a newer version of this, but this is like one of my first like really cool like concept videos that I saw for a modular kind of device. It's not a laptop, but this if they were able to ever like do this, it would have been really cool. But again, you still have the same problems, right? It has to have the same basically type of connectors. All the companies have to be on board with adopting it, things like that. Man, look how young he looked here. But yeah, I mean that's such a cool idea. You can put a different camera on it, all that stuff. But I think like just physically it's not doable unless you have really crappy, like, you think you could fit a really good camera on something like this, the size of this, and have like the connectors there. It would probably have to be like a much lower end camera versus if it was just built into the phone. Yeah, they never showed a working model on this. I'm not sure if any other. Let's see this one. This one was only last year. Nope, it doesn't look like this one is a modular phone. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that never ended up like working out, but it was a really cool, like, it was a really cool concept, very similar to this whole frameworks thing. Granted, the frameworks laptop has a little bit more room to work around, so I think it's more realistic, but I'm very skeptical on my end. Didn't Razer have a prototype for an ever more modular gaming desktop? A bunch of rectangles? Why does that sound like an April Fool's joke? Let's see if I can find it. If anyone else remembers, Project Sophia. Sophia? Is this it? This is a laptop. This is a laptop or a desktop? That was an old April Fool's joke? Yeah. Yo, I mean, it's just like the KFC gaming console, right? Remember this? You know how real this looked? This was on Cooler Master's official website. You know how sad I was when I started to realize this was a hoax? So sad. Yeah, this is definitely coming for sure. Definitely. You know what? To they use this to launch their KFC gaming. Look at this thing, 250,000 followers. They made up this lie, this joke, just so that they could. I don't even know what they're doing with KFC gaming, honestly. Like, it's just they just post random stuff, but it's just another like a random gaming news account now. They haven't mentioned the console in like years on this account. I'm so salty about this not being a real thing though. Every product Razer releases sounds like an April Fool's joke. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, stream submissions. What did Demon Myth? Oh, is that it? Okay, let's have a watch. And it's funny because there were a lot of. We're gonna talk about the handheld stuff next. We're an hour and a half into stream, but I think we still have time. This is like the perfect stream where there's everything, we're talking about everything and don't really have that much downtime. Oh my goodness, this music. 2014. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Oh, you don't have audio? What? Wait, really? There was no audio the whole time? OBS is telling me desktop. Do you hear the music in the background? Give me 1 second. Do you hear the background music? I'm gonna turn it up now. What is going on? Okay, give me 1 second. I thought, well, there should have been background music the entire time. Okay, did I? So sometimes, well, because I use the same computer to record stuff for like videos, I mess with the audio settings, and it looks like I might have done that. Let me see. Advanced audio, active sources. Okay. Let's see. Desktop audio. Okay, does it work now? Now do you hear music? Please tell me that wasn't the reason why. There it is. Okay, well, I'm a noob. It's okay. The reason is because I do multi-track recording for videos, so that like voice and music and stuff is on different tracks. But for some reason during the stream, I thought I had all the tracks going through, but apparently they weren't. So I have to have them all on one track. It seems like all on track 1, because it was enabled on a different one, but for some reason, yeah. Okay, I need to mess around with that later. Yeah, sorry about that. But you didn't miss anything. They're not talking about, obviously, anything important. But just from seeing this, the Razer, now I'm going to mute it, so there's nothing to hear anyways. I mean, okay, yeah, this is fake. Also, this thing is hideous. So, I don't know if anyone would go for that anyways. But, hey, what's up, Mateo? Whoa, Mateo! Beltramo. That sounds like a really OG name that I haven't seen for a while. But it might have been another Mateo. Or Matt Hill. Sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. But for something, just after seeing this though, is there anything that you wish manufacturers would do or change with regards to building the PC to make it easier? Like, they're already starting to do things like put connectors on like the back side of the motherboard so that you don't have to, you know, fidget with it on the front side. You could do it on the back. Is that like the biggest innovation that's come within the last few years? What has become easier for installation of PC parts, right? I'm trying to think, because that's essentially what this all boils down to. This boils down to you don't have to do anything with regards to unscrewing things, putting your hand through like random corners and nooks and crannies trying to fit things in. You just slot something in, just like, you know, putting like a tape into a VCR, not a tape into a VCR, but just installing every single part is pretty much the same. Now, you're never going to achieve that in a normal desktop, but what could manufacturers do to make it easier? Like, what is the most annoying thing to install aside from the AIO? AIOs, like, wouldn't building PCs be easier and just like installing AIOs be easier if every company had the same holes, whether, you know, AMD and Intel, and every socket or platform had the same mounting holes, so that you only ever had to have one set of mounting hardware, and in the future, no matter what, that mounting hardware will always work. I know it's easier said than done because there's like traces and stuff in the motherboard that changes over time and you have to go around those. But still, let's just say they could do that. That would be one thing, because then you could go into more of like a clip retention system as opposed to screwing down if you could have the same holes and have kind of like an AMD type of mounting system every single time. But yeah. Everything 90-degree angle in the motherboard. Okay, yeah. Having nothing coming out. Here we go. Yeah, this is yeah, so submitted by Demon Mitt, something like this. So yeah, this goes along with like, it makes it installing everything easier just by kind of moving it, but it doesn't dramatically change anything. Like, what if they could somehow like Like, I feel like the CPU is kind of recessed into... The CPU is kind of... no matter what you do, it's always going to be recessed into the case a little bit. So you have to reach in and stuff. What if they could have installation of core components, like, more accessible? But then you would need, like, the equivalent of, like, a riser cable for your CPU, equivalent to a riser cable as your memory, stuff like that, right? So that you could move where you actually insert it from where it actually has to go deeper into the case. So, I mean, yeah, stuff like this is nice. I mean, I don't know, like, how much it costs to go from a cheap motherboard to get these connectors. I mean, this is obviously a premium board, right? Is it worth spending, regardless of, you know, the chipset or, like, how nice the other components are, just alone for this? If people are only going for this part of the board with, like, the sideways connectors, how much more would you really be willing to pay for it? Because, again, you build your PC once. If you're a tinkerer, sure, you might be removing stuff and reconnecting stuff more often. But for most people, they build their PC and then they don't touch it for like a year and a half till they upgrade the graphics card or add more RAM or, like, you know, storage. So, again, price is such a huge factor in all these things. Unless you're trying to do kingpin numbers, what is the purpose of that board, lol? Mr. 7-Digit, that is a good question. But you can ask the same thing about car enthusiasts and how they can dump thousands of dollars into their cars for everything from turbos, different engines. You know how much just, like, stuff for cars cost? Like, the smallest little random things. I mean, you're still going to be driving it unless you track your car or something, but most people don't even do that. They street race, which... Don't street race. Yeah, they just do that, or they just sit in a parking lot with their hood open during car meets and stuff. I don't know. People just like spending their money on stuff, so... You know what? This is definitely way cheaper than how much car enthusiasts or boat enthusiasts or airplane enthusiasts spend on their hobbies, right? Yeah. The Gigabyte Project Stealth, and then Shane Eslick is saying Asus has a board like that too. Yeah, that only works for if your case has the right cutouts in it, right? So maybe they're, because we all know that, like, usually down here on motherboards, you get all the, like, front panel connectors, USB, AC audio, and stuff like that. You could put way bigger cutouts on the bottom, or just have it kind of like, just like an amount of space in front of it if you have to, so that you have access to all this on the bottom on every case moving forward. Then compatibility issues is kind of easily taken care of. And then have like a big cutout on here for the 24-pin, stuff like that, and always have a cutout out here. So I think a lot of case manufacturers can get on board with it. I don't know if Gigabyte has like a patent on it or anything though that might restrict that, but that would be nicer. Yeah, these front panel connectors are like the most annoying part every single time. The easy fix to that is how a lot of, actually not a lot, but some case manufacturers have it all connected, because it's always the same order. They all have it connected as if it's like just one USB 2.0, and you just plug that in and you're good to go. So, yeah. Okay. So, that is the concept. Wow, we went from talking about modularity in a laptop to KFC consoles and modularity in the desktop. Next thing is going to be the ROG. Have y'all seen? We'll watch the official video for it. Okay, now we can actually hear it.
Here at ROG, we're always pushing the boundaries of gaming, constantly performance in small, from convertible tablets to controllers, and even smart contact lenses. Nothing has ever stopped us from going further and harder. And now, we're combining all our know-how into one single device to wear the crown. Introducing ROG Ally, ROG's first handheld console. This time, we're finally bringing true PC performance to your life on the go. The ROG Ally is a Windows gaming handheld that allows you to pick up and play all your game libraries wherever you are, whenever you want. To make it all possible, ROG and AMD work together to custom make the fastest AMD APU yet. Taking your AAA game out of your gaming room is no longer a fantasy, and thanks to the high...
Yeah, the mic was muted. That was intentional. I forgot it was muted just because... Actually, let me know if the sound is coming through double. It doesn't look like it should be.
Performance display. You can enjoy gorgeous and smooth full HD gaming wherever you go, even under the sun or the spotlight. The Ally is the achievement of years of ROG intelligent cooling. Featuring a dual fan design, it stays cool and silent in your hands and guarantees great performance with quiet operation. Get instant access to all your games and settings in Armory Crate. Set up different key mappings and add games from multiple platforms. Experience Ally's full potential with the ROG XG Mobile eGPU while charging your device and streaming your game to the big screen.
I like this part right here. Watch. Do people really carry these big things in their front pocket like that? Also, I like how he resourced his front pocket as if it was gonna be in the front one. Well, maybe he was like patting the inside pocket, but still, it's like, oh yeah.
All you need is the ROG Ally, and all it needs is you. Take it wherever you go and play wherever you are. ROG Ally. You'll never have to stop gaming again.
Okay. Shauna says, not gonna lie, this feels like satire. So the funny thing is, at the beginning of the video,
Handheld console.
They're talking about
harder.
like
All
we made this smart contact and stuff. Yeah, smart contact lens. So, and the fact that they released it on the day before April Fools, which everyone was doing that they knew what they were doing. They wanted to like ride the hype train of April Fool's Day. And I had a feeling when I saw this, I was like, I knew it wasn't an April Fool's joke. Just because it looked like a thing that could actually exist. Because if you remember some of the other ones, NZXT April Fool's GPU, if you saw this one right here, like when this got posted, I was like, okay, that is definitely fake. And you can already tell by the render. Like, look at where this is placed. And then let me see. Does anything else clue you in to this being fake aside from like the dimensions of where it would connect to the PCIe slot being off? Like, I guess not. I guess it would just be pretty bad design to have such small fans and such like, covered parts of the shroud. Like, you could easily make these fans bigger if you didn't have this stupid NZXT, bar that they typically have in their case. It's not stupid, but it's stupid on a GPU. So yeah. I honestly, NZXT, if they made a GPU, it would probably look very slick. It would definitely look slicker than this, but you could just tell this looks like an April Fool's joke. But this definitely, like, as soon as you saw this, it's just like, yeah, there's no way this is, there's no way this is just a joke. So the thing about, okay, so people were asking earlier what my thoughts on handheld gaming consoles are. I don't know. I feel like I'm shoot, who cares about what my thoughts are? What are your guys' thoughts? Let's see. We're gonna run 2 polls. Actually, no. You care about handheld gaming consoles? I feel like I already know the answer to this, though, but we'll see. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess what's the split gonna be? So do you care about handheld gaming consoles at all? Shoot, I should have said PC. We're talking about handheld PC gaming consoles. So we're talking about Steam Deck, this Asus Ally, right? So only if they're affordable. Yes, regardless of kind of the price, right? Obviously not if it's like 3,000 bucks, but even if they're more expensive, kind of like this ROG Ally, and then no, which is like you don't really care at all. For me, I lean further towards no, but I think I could be swayed. I wouldn't put forth, it is, I'm not interested in it enough to spend money on the Steam Deck. And I was really on the fence too, because when the Steam Deck reservations came out, I actually put in my reservation for it. And I ended up getting the cheapest model, and then I kind of changed my mind after I saw that the SSD apparently wasn't supposed to be replaceable, but then apparently it is replaceable now. It was just at the time, everybody was reporting that it wouldn't be upgradable for the cheapest, the bare bones cheapest Steam Deck. So then I said, well, that's the only reservation I have. I'm going to cancel it, and I don't want to spend more money. So I was interested enough to put in a pre-order for the cheapest one. But for the most part, I can't see myself really using it too often. Shauner says, I bought one from Zach to give to my sister. She uses it all the time. Shauner, is your sister a PC gamer as well? Didn't you built her a system, right? So she has a desktop gaming PC too? Do you know what she plays on it? I'm curious. I mean, I know they're perfect for indie titles or like kind of smaller indie developer games that are perfect for running on APUs and stuff like that. But once you start trying to run AAA titles, you're really gonna have to turn down like resolutions and settings and stuff like that. Brian Robinson says, waiting for better performance, 1080p 60 FPS. I mean, on a smaller screen, do you need 1080p as much as, you know, as like on a larger 23-inch plus? Demon Mint says, what are the benefits over phones? I don't see a use case where it's preferred over phone other than publishers are stingy and won't release a game to non-proprietary hardware. Well, phones aren't as powerful as APUs, right? I don't know of any phones. And then there's the whole operating system side of things, right? Sure, you could probably put Windows on a mobile phone. But how well is it really going to run? Especially like trying to run Steam games through it. And this is assuming non-cloud gaming. Because I'm assuming like with any of these handheld consoles, you're not going to rely on cloud gaming. You are relying on the actual hardware running the game. So yeah, the benefit over the phone would be there are so many titles that you can play on it that are just not accessible to phones because of the limited power of phones. It's not as strong as a PC, but APUs have been getting more impressive generation after generation. We're going to hit a point soon where it's not going to be as much of a meme to have an APU system. And the performance is going to be pretty much good enough, at least to hold someone over who is on a tighter budget. Now, it's a different conversation when you talk about APUs in a desktop, because that's like a very budget thing, versus an APU in a handheld like this, because this thing is definitely not going to be cheap. But the form factor and portability of it is kind of like laptops, right? You just kind of have to pay that premium for the portability, and I guess this form factor of having joysticks and the screen and stuff like that. So I definitely see a use case over a phone, just not for me personally. A lot of people play Nintendo Switch, a lot of people play 3DSs, a lot of people are into gaming while commuting, while traveling, after school, while they're waiting for the bus. I don't know. There's tons of use cases for gaming non-mobile games portably. Yeah, so it is Zen 4 RDNA 3 in terms of the APU. They did not give him the specs. I wonder if he could have looked up the specs, or maybe they told him not to share the specs. Like there must have been a way for him to like run some kind of program that would have been like, hey, this is a, you know, code name this at least. But maybe because it was such an intro like to it, they want to keep everything kind of under wraps for now. But it is going to be on new hardware. Shoot, which reminds me, that makes me like really excited about this next generation of APUs that are coming out. So we'll see, like, what is the equivalent performance going to be? Okay, so I watched the the Dave version. Not how long was Linus's version? Was it longer? Do I even have it pulled up? So Dave's version was 854. Linus's version was, how long was it? Oh, 16 minutes, so twice as long. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll go and see. Does Linus add anything on top of? I like Dave's video and cover of it because he is able to take a lot of information and condense the most important parts and explain it very passionately and very like coherently. Linus sometimes goes all over the place, so between the two, that's why I probably watched Dave's over Linus's. Hey, what's up, Ian? How you doing? Shane Essex says, my Game Boy is still good enough for me waiting for at a medical appointment. I mean, my phone is good enough for me. But, well, yeah, we'll see. How much are Steam Decks going for now? Like, if I wanted to buy one used, because it's probably not going to be that much cheaper than brand new, huh? Let's see, Steam Deck. If you go to the official Steam Deck website, they're available now from $400. Or you can buy a used one for $380, but this is the 256 gigabyte version. But it's used. And it's from Ireland. Holy crap. Other ones, aside from this Ireland one, they're all over $400. So, yeah. We probably won't be live in a little bit. I already hear Melissa making pasta upstairs, so I'm gonna go up and either help finish it or help finish it by eating it. But yeah. Demon Mitt. You can only play the mobile versions of the games. It's not the same thing though. Like the mobile versions are all optimized. Like PUBG Mobile and Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. It's not playing the Steam version of it, so it's a different game against a different like, you know, like player base. It's to my knowledge, it's not cross-platform. It's not like you're playing PC people against phone people, but I might be wrong on that one. But I mean, it's still way more limited than if you were able to play what you would be able to play on a Steam Deck. So yeah, it's not the same experience. And like, if I wanted to play what game, like you can play Cyberpunk on a Steam Deck. You cannot play Cyberpunk on your phone. Maybe you can if you have some weird, you know, if you like root your phone and do all the special stuff to get Windows on it and to try to run it, but it's definitely not gonna be nearly the same. The Steam Deck can play the PC version, I think, anyways. It can play. Let me see. Can you play Steam Deck, COD Modern Warfare 2? Can you play? But it works great on Steam Deck, according to Dexerto. I trust them. But let's see if we can find a video. Modern Warfare 2 on Steam Deck is amazing. This is only 4 months ago. Okay, this guy or this person has a modded Steam Deck. Let's see the benchmark actually. Let's see what the final score is on this. 66 FPS. I don't know what. Oh my goodness. Couldn't he do like? Maybe he couldn't do screen recording. But I'm trying to see like the details here of what resolution is running at. But yeah, you're playing the full version of the game against other PC players. Now, whether or not that's a good idea because mouse and keyboard will probably kill you really fast. It's, you know, we're talking about other single player AAA title games that would be very convenient to play portable. N2Tech says, I can play Fortnite through GeForce on the phone. That is a good point. I mean, there's always going to be that debate about cloud gaming versus actual, like, hardware-based gaming. Like, as much as I'm not really into, like, portable, like, Steam Deck and Asus what's it called? The Ally. I'm extra not into cloud gaming. So, I would rather consider, like, Steam Deck than GeForce Now. Ian says, just spent 6 hours cleaning detailing my brother-in-law's PC. I told him, okay, so I've only ever run into one computer that I worked on, and this was for a coworker of mine. It was for his son, and I really liked my coworker, so I was like, hey, I'll help you look at your son's computer. And his son, he didn't even tell me. I like had the computer, and then when he came over to pick it up, I was like, does your son vape? And he said, yeah. How did you know? It's because, let me see if I can pull up the cooler. I think I have it back here. Give me 1 second. Okay, it wasn't just a cooler, it was the entire case I had to pull over. But let me see if I could... Let me make sure I have my thing ready to go. But yeah, dude, vaping... Like, I can only imagine how much worse cigarettes is, but... Or maybe it's similar, because it's smoke, but one of them is a different kind of, like... What, like, sweetened vapors versus tar, wherever the heck is in cigarettes. Like this. Let me see. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to see. Can you see it actually on there? Not really. But just like this gunky yellow stuff everywhere. Let me see. It's not as bad on here. Oh, there it is. It's on this part of the PC. Ugh. Okay, let me see if my phone is connected yet. Droid cam. Okay. See how that stuff is like, it's not just dust. It's got like this kind of sticky gunkiness to it. but it's caked on the rear exhaust fan. If you look at the top of the case, you can kind of see it, like, it's kind of built into the mesh there. But yeah, so basically, I told him there's no way this is worth cleaning. First of all, this is an old case. So what happened was his son was upgrading parts and stuff. So I was like, you know what? You know how cheap cases are nowadays? I would not even. It's not even worth the time and effort to clean this gunk off of like the rest of the case and stuff like that, because it's an old case. It didn't even have all the connectors needed, like for USB-C in the front and stuff, to go with the new hardware. So I was like, you know what? Just spend like $80 on a new case. They're pretty cheap. You can get a good case for that much. So I was able to convince him to just get him a new case, but I need to recycle this thing. But yeah, so that is the glycerin from the vape. Yeah, that's what it is, the glycerin. So Ian, you spent 6 hours cleaning it. You should have told him I will help you replace and move parts over to a new case that you are going to buy. But I don't know. I couldn't imagine trying to like clean all that gunk off. Old case or not, a lot of people like old cases for sleeper power stations. Yeah, if you're into that thing, sure. But I mean, you know, think about a kid in high school right now. I don't think he really cared. He wasn't trying to make a sleeper build. He was just trying to, you know, have a functioning computer. Yeah, if they continue to vape, it'll just get gunky again. So, all right, I did. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe we can talk about this more next week. But I haven't had time because this all just came out today. I haven't had time to. It's the person who originally asked for the 7800 X3D. Are they still in the chat? New gaming champ beats pricier CPUs. So kind of similar to what the 5800 X3D when it came out, right? Sub 450. Okay, it's faster for gaming and only for gaming than the 7950 X3D. Whoa, wait. Is this available yet? Let's see, is that a Newegg? Or is this just like, you know how they released the embargo for reviews like a day before it actually goes live? 5800 X3D, 50. Okay, so it doesn't look like you can. When is it available? Did they even say? I'm guessing April. Held back. Wait. Until April. Oh, until April 6th. That's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, so let's see, average FPS in gaming, so that leads and beats the 1300K it looks like, and then here's the respective prices too. So 450, okay, 600 or 700, 600, 600-ish, 400, okay. Let's see what else do we have here? 1440p, same thing. Multi-threaded performance ranking. So this is, oh my goodness, what is this? So this is between Blender, Handbrake, Y-Cruncher, Cinebench, okay. Multi-threaded Cinebench, okay. Oh, yeah, so what is it performing around the same as? Wow, this is a big, it's like, there's nothing really nearby except kind of the 7700X. In multi-threaded workloads, really worse than the 13600K. So yes, very much a gaming specific use case, unless you know this kind of performance level is good enough for you, which again, like I said, even for myself, like so much of what I do I can do with the graphics card that I don't need like a crazy strong CPU. Single threaded performance, okay. also pretty much loses to all the Intel stuff. Is that okay? That's all they have. So that's just a quick summary of it. What are my thoughts on it? I mean, what is their test suite? Do they say RTX 4090? That gap is gonna close as you have weaker graphics cards, right? So I don't know how, if you have a 4090 or like, you know, over $1,000 for a graphics card, you are probably in the ballpark of being able to afford a sub $500 CPU. So if you are focused on gaming and you care about the difference between let's say 200 versus 225-ish FPS, yeah, you can go for that. But I think it's kind of behaving as we should have expected based on how good the 5800 X3D was when that came out. So I wouldn't say anything is too surprising here. It does seem to offer like a ton of good value for this specific customer. Shauner says AMD scummy for waiting to release this, in his opinion. I mean, dude, every company is scummy for the most part, for the release cycles. Maybe not Intel as much, but just look at on the graphics card side of things, and that's because Intel hasn't, like, you know, released a ton yet. But the fact that they're rolling the releases of the most expensive ones and waiting this long in between. Like, when did the 4090 drop, and when are we gonna see the 4060s? Like, what is that time difference gonna be? They're really trying to get everyone to buy as many of the higher end stuff first. So this isn't too different than what they're already doing on the graphics card side of things. But I mean, yeah. I think the thing is, though, it's partly our fault, right? Isn't it our fault, as maybe not like specifically like you and me or people here in this chat, but the fact that people have the need to upgrade their systems as soon as something comes out, as opposed to either waiting or just holding off with what they already have. Like, there are definitely people who probably went out, if you're buying it like brand new for a new system because you didn't have a PC, that's one thing. But like, if you upgraded to the 7950 X3D because it just came out and you couldn't wait to have the newest, nicest thing in your system, only to have this come out afterwards, yeah, it's scummy on AMD side of things, but I think people's impatience is part of the formula as to why they even do it in the first place. So they build Ryzen 9s as better, and they aren't. Did they build it as better than their own lineup, or did they build it as better than Intel? We got to read the fine print in the asterisks and the footnotes, because, yeah, I mean, I agree. It is a scummy thing, but it is what it is. It's me. I'm those people, says Mag78. Oh. Sweet. Sergeant Reaper, glad to hear V1 Tech is doing right by you. They're paying for everything, right? Like, they're going to ship it out and not going to charge you anything extra. And then you have 2 backplates. Maybe you can mess around with that and try to cut it. I don't know. Okay. You probably already saw Melissa in the chat saying that dinner is ready. So I have about 5 more minutes that I can hang out for until I have to go and eat some spaghetti. Even though I really want to go pick up that Domino's pizza. And I convinced Melissa to come with me to pick up the Domino's pizza. Maybe. Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna end the poll now. The last poll was on the consoles, so half of the people care about the portable gaming consoles if they're like, you know, made affordable and priced well. A good almost 40% just don't care at all, and then some care about it no matter what. Hey, what's up, Cedric Crispin? Stream's about to end, but glad you were able to make it at all. Feel free to rewatch the rest of the stream, you know, put it in the background, sleep to it, etc. Full Italian night, spaghetti and pizza, that's right. Did someone ask if I was gonna be there? Let me see. Sergeant Reaper says at the midnight scene, yes. Recent WAN show, Linus said Nob is appearing. Wait, did I appear in the WAN show this past Friday? During this, did they go over a segment where they went over all the creators showing that's gonna be there? Oh yeah, the midnight scene said nobody going to RTX. Yeah, let me see. Where is the live streams? WAN show 4 days ago. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness, dude. Have y'all? Linus is like, oh my, look at this. Look how broken down and detailed their freaking timestamps are for their stream. It's crazy. I put like 7-ish timestamps per stream max. Look at this. Every single little thing they talk about, they have a timestamp for. Okay, let's see. LTX. Let's see if I can find it here. LTX. Attendees and creators. Okay. Oh, here it is. Oh, is this guests? Oh, we can look at it ourselves. Hey, we got, okay. Of these people, slash guests. So we can pull this up too. Ah, here we go. All right, so who's on the list so far? All their own channels are on here. We got 3D Printing Nerd is from Washington. Bad Seed Tech used to be in Washington. He moved. Man, a lot of Washington people so far. Barnacles Nerdgasm, aka Jerry, is also Washington based. Coalition Gaming, not Washington, but we got Chris going. He's on the featured creators page. Gear Seeker's gonna be there. Nice. David is gonna be there again. He is local to Vancouver. Greg is gonna be there. Jared's Tech. Yeah, Jared wasn't there in 2019. Gear Seekers wasn't either. Let's see. Level 1. Okay, Wendell was there 2019. Lewis Rossman, nice. There's me. And then there's Ozzy too, and Paul. And Pedro. I forget if Pedro was there or not. From PCMR. Sarah Dici. Shank Mod, Snazzy Labs. We got the Sushi Dragon. Crazy streamer effects going on here. There's Brett as well. Huh. Where's the rest of the tech fam? Have they not confirmed that they're going? Where's Toasty Bros? Where's Scatterbolt? Where's Zach's Tech Turf? I know JD Tech Gear is not going. And then Shauner, you said you were going? 4-hour Nob streams when? Dude, I can't. Also, the retention falls off pretty quickly. We're barely two hours over, and we went from over 100, healthily over 100, like 115, 120, down to like almost 80. So, yeah, retention for 4 hours, I can only assume it goes down to like 50 or less. But, we got Dr. Ian Cuttress from Tech Potato. So, yeah, I'm sure this list is gonna grow. There's no way, like, I guarantee you. Actually, I'm curious to your guys' thoughts. I don't see any TikTok creators on here yet. I can guarantee you they're gonna be inviting TikTok creators as well. I only know of a couple of like the biggest ones. Mr. Yeaster, and then who's that guy? Carter PCs. Yeah, those two are probably the only ones that I know like the most. But I guarantee you, this is gonna be way more populated with not only more YouTube content creators, but and also TikTok creators. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts before we end the night. What do you think about tech talk content creators? Sweet Shauner is gonna go. Demon Mitt, are you going? So Shauner is gonna be going. Other people, I'm sure other people in the chat have mentioned before that they're going. So, yeah. Midnight Scene is gonna go. Yeah, Mod Kevin Go mentioned potentially going as well. Mod Jason Whitmer, I think is going. We'll see. I think last I talked to him, he said he wanted to go, but Shane Essex says, I don't think about TikTok. I don't really think about it too much either, but it definitely gets some spillover over onto the YouTube side because a lot of them, they upload the same thing to both. But yeah, I mean, definitely TikTok content creators are on the rise, and it's like, you know, they are now part of the shared space of online content creators. So I personally don't watch them like a ton. I'll see them on like my Twitter feed through like reposts of videos and stuff like that, or maybe reposts or YouTube shorts. But I just can't get myself to use TikTok. I'm not the user interface. It's too zoomer for me. I'm like boomer. Yeah. Shauner says, I try not to watch too much short form because it's addicting AF. That is pretty true. I do catch myself infinitely scrolling through the YouTube shorts accidentally, where I'm just like, you know, bored, or if I'm on the toilet or stuff like that. So I can see that happening, but I'm just so ingrained and used to YouTube that, like, one of my biggest complaints, let's do this right now. So if I go to TikTok, oh god, please don't have some thirst trap thing. I promise I don't use TikTok. I shouldn't have thirst traps on my front page. But if I go to TikTok, like whatever the heck this thing is pops up. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I don't care about this. Let me go home. Wait, how come when I'm clicking home, it just shows me way more videos? Like, why is it showing more videos when I click home and not going to like a page where I can pick stuff? Like, you know, and then then I click back, right? I click back, take me away. It just keeps feeding me more videos when I'm trying to go to like a screen that is not a video, right? Now, if we go on YouTube side of things, I cannot believe of course that was gonna show up and not like tech or something, but okay. So if I go to YouTube, like if I go to YouTube Shorts, so here's the YouTube Shorts. If I say, oh, I don't want to watch a short anymore, I click on home. Oh, I go back to the screen that isn't an actively playing video. If I go to shorts, if I hit the back button, oh, I guess shorts. If I go left and right, that does nothing. So if I scroll up and down, I'll infinitely scroll. But if I ever need to get away from an actively playing video, I can do that on YouTube. Yeah. Definitely should not have shown the camera. I should have found a safe one first. I cannot. Here's the thing. I swear, I have not trained my TikTok algorithm. That is not based on my watch history. I do not go and search for things like that. I promise you, if you have not ever seen TikTok before and you go on it, high chance it's gonna be some booty videos. Okay? But alright, that's gonna wrap it up for this stream. Thanks for making this a fun Wednesday night for me, as always. Hope you all had a good time as well. I don't think I can get a video up this weekend, just because the video I'm working on is gonna take a little bit longer. So I might try to do a YouTube short content. If not, then I'll see you guys next week and whenever the video drops next week. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your night or day wherever you are in the world. Have a great rest of your week, and then have a great weekend coming up. Yeah, I will see you on oh yeah, join the Discord if you haven't yet. You can catch me there. I'm in there pretty much every day talking and stuff. But other than that, I'll see you there as well as in other social media. See ya.